couldn't jump on. So I'm super excited about tonight's call because I want to do what we normally do and go through and see if you guys have any questions, see if you have any victories or reflections from this past week, and then I'm going to get a little bit into the coaching aspect of things. So first, do you guys have any victories, any questions, anything from this last holiday week? Anything that you've noticed that you did differently? Nothing? I'll go first. So I had like such good intentions for Thanksgiving dinner. We had an organic turkey and all organic mashed potatoes, and like everything was relatively healthy. And then I'm like, so we ate at my mom's house, and she has plates that are like this big, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to have a healthy Thanksgiving dinner and not feel super stuffed afterwards. And so I'm making my plate, and I look at it when I'm done, and I'm like, whoa, Jessica, like the whole thing is full of food. And so I'm like, oh, it's okay, I won't eat it all. No, I did. I ate it all. And then, so we're in this Core to Force challenge. My husband and I are really trying to be really good about doing all of our workouts and staying accountable to each other. And he had to work that day, so we couldn't get our workout done before Thanksgiving dinner. It was after. And so we are doing MMA, kickboxing, and all these core twists and everything. And I feel like my Thanksgiving turkey and mashed potatoes are going to go all over my TV. And it was like everything I could to not throw up. And he was the same way. We were like, oh, this can't be good if our food is not leaving like our gut area. So yeah, that was a good lesson, I will say. Hi, Lexi. We're sharing stories of this last week, and yeah. Alexa. So that was, you caught the end of my post-Thanksgiving dinner workout. I don't recommend it to anyone, ever.
That's funny.
I literally had a moment where I was like, this is why our parents told us not to go swimming for 30 minutes after we eat. Yeah, it was great. So anything else that you guys wanted to share? Any questions that you have about meal planning, about any of the recipe guides, about workouts, about recovering after Thanksgiving? Or is everybody pretty good? You want to move forward?
Well, I'm just starting the Core to Force this week.
Awesome.
I knew I wouldn't do it last week because last week was just too crazy, but I really wanted to do it. So
cool.
But, I had done it for a couple days worth, and then I knew I wouldn't be able to. So I got back, was doing my yoga. I still wanted to do something, but now I just started again. It's really cool.
Oh, cool. You like it?
Yeah, so I'm just getting started. We'll see how it goes. But it looks like I'm really enjoying it so far. So
awesome. I am loving it. My husband and I are both really loving it. It makes me feel like, I don't know, kind of like a badass a little bit.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly.
As weird as that may sound. But it does. And I always think to myself, working in a prison, like, okay, when could I use this? Elbows.
Well, it's just moves that I didn't even feel like I was doing that much, but then the next day I was like, oh.
Yeah, like so sore. Like my shoulder muscle right here, like a tiny spot. I'm like, I don't even understand how and why I'm so sore, because I've been working out for the last 9 months, and this is what makes me sore. No weights used at all. We just did the core kinetics, I think is what it's called, today, and we literally just got done, and my husband was cursing at the TV. He doesn't do that. He's like, you want me to do what?
It uses totally different muscles than other stuff. It's great.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Really loving it. So if you guys haven't tried that workout yet, I highly recommend maybe that being your next program challenge to do, because it's really fun. That's awesome. And then how are you liking the nutritional guide part of it? Does that all make sense to you?
Well, yeah, because I did the 21-day fix.
Okay.
So I'd already been practicing the portions and the containers, and I got this really cool app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And they fix.
Yeah.
like log your containers as you go along, so that when you get to the end of the day, you'd be like, okay, this is what I've got left. We're having vegetables for dinner.
Yeah.
Because,
lots of vegetables.
Track of what you did or didn't eat all day. It was really helpful. So now that I've been doing that long enough, I don't have to look at my app as much. I just have a better idea of what I'm doing. So since the Port of Force has the containers on it, hopefully I can just adapt over to slightly different portions. But I think it should be all right. Got to get my meal planning down a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah, for me, when I first started with the containers and everything, it was a little bit of adjustment in the beginning, like figuring out what it's going to look like for me and my routine. But now that I've been doing it for a while, like you said, you don't really have to reference it as much because you get into a routine of this is what I usually eat. And so it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, that app is super awesome. If anyone wants to know what she's talking about, if you look for the 21 Day Fix app, you can track your water, you can track all the different containers. And so you can do it throughout your day. And so you get to the end of the day and you're like, oh, I still have this left. Or no more yellows for me.
Yeah. There's no fooling yourself on how many yellows you actually have that day.
Yeah.
You marks on your app.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I like that too. Well, cool. I'm really happy that you're liking that. One quick difference that I noticed between 21 Day Fix, 22-minute hardcore, and Core de Force, they all use the containers and they all use some sort of calculation in the beginning to figure out what kind of what category you'll be in for calories, but they all are a little bit different. And so like 21 Day Fix, you guys, for those of you who haven't done it, it gives you how many containers of each category you need to eat that day, and it leaves it up to you of when you eat those. And then 22-minute hardcore is more structure. So like you'll notice in 22-minute hardcore, between plan 1 and plan 5, dinner is always only protein and vegetables, and a healthy fat. It just changes the amount. So I thought that was really interesting. There's a huge difference there with the structure part. And then with Core de Force, it kind of goes back to 21 Day Fix's idea of giving you eat this many containers each day. You decide when, except in week number 2, you add a fruit. And in week number 3, you keep that extra fruit and you add a blue container, like a healthy fat. And then week number 4, you take out that healthy fat, that extra blue container and that extra purple, and you go back to how it was in week 1. And that may sound super confusing explaining it over video, I guess. But I like that because I've always thought too, and I felt in myself, as I am getting, sorry, my kid's screaming in the background. As I'm getting stronger, my metabolism is going to speed up as I'm doing my workouts, and as my body is, sorry, I'm just making sure that's an okay scream. As my body's getting more efficient, it's going to need more fuel in order to continue to rev up my metabolism so it doesn't start shutting down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I read through the guide today after I saw your post.
Sorry guys, let me put my headphones on really quick. Okay, go for it.
After I saw your post on Facebook, I thought, I probably should read through the food guidelines. So I actually did. So they did really well in there, I thought.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It does make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Awesome. Any questions about that, you guys? Meal plan stuff? All right. I wanted to announce, I know she's not on our call tonight, but last Monday I kind of announced to our group that we're going to bring back the weekly prizes. And this week's prize is a mug that says bad and a donkey face, like badass. And our winner this week, if she watches our recording, and I'll email her too, is Martha Christian. And I was super excited for her and super thankful that she shared her post in our team page. And if you guys haven't read it, she's lost 17 pounds, and it's just amazing to hear her story. And she was super encouraging to other people. So congratulations, Martha. Great job. Keep pushing, and you're doing amazing. So I'll message her and make sure she gets her badass mug. And then we'll have one next week too. And so if you guys aren't familiar with how this works, I'll repost how it works for points and stuff. But basically, the more active you are in our Facebook group page and on our calls and stuff, commenting on other people's posts and checking in with us, the person who's the most active is going to get a prize the next week. So for next week's call. And I'll post what the prize is for next week and everything in our group. So that was awesome. Okay. Leading into the coaching portion of this and what I wanted to kind of share with you guys, there's been something that I've been thinking of. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of like the law of attraction, and that goes super like new agey, but at the same time, there's a lot of truth to it. And I was thinking of how I could share that with our team and it be tangible, because I feel like a lot of the touchy-feely kind of recommendations out there are not, like, for me, I don't get it. Like, it's hard for me to implement and know what that means in my life. And so I came up with a quote, and I don't even know if it makes sense. You guys can tell me. But basically, the attitude attracts actuality. And meaning that your attitude, whether that's in your business, in your workouts, and your health goals, with your family and your relationships, your attitude that you have towards that is going to attract what the outcome is. So in your workouts, if you're someone, and women are the worst at this, if you are someone who is constantly beating yourself up, telling yourself that you are not good enough, not skinny enough, not strong enough, not whatever enough, I have thyroid issues, or which all these I know are real. Believe me, I'm a nurse, and I disclaimer, I know these are all real things. But if you start blaming all of your health problems on something instead of owning up to, I need to take control of this, you're never going to get out of that. And I see it all the time. And so in the realm of health and fitness, I just wanted to encourage all of us, including myself, to kind of do a self-analysis of what are your thoughts towards yourself? What is your attitude during your workouts? Are you saying, I hate this, I'm so mad at myself that I'm doing this is no fun, blah, 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 I hate you, Tony Horton? Or are you having a heart that is thankful that you have 2 arms and you have 2 legs and you can exercise? And your body is working. It literally is capable of doing it. It's our brains that get in the way and say, I'm too tired, I don't have enough time, or I'm too stressed, or this is too much. I get it, you guys. Life is so crazy. I feel like it's only getting worse as time goes on. But so kind of not only think about this for yourself, but start looking at the people around you. You know the positive people in your life, and you know the negative people in your life. And kind of think, like, what does their life look like? You know, are they attracting bad stuff into their life? Are they always complaining, so they're always seeing the negative, so they're going to have a very negative outlook on everything? You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good. Because it's going to lead me, before I go any further, do you guys have any other questions about this kind of stuff?
I have a comment. Okay,
good. Comment away.
I just talked to my sister this afternoon because she started her little health journey again. And I'm a trainer. I go to the gym six days a week, and I kind of tell people what to do. And I told her today, I said, I kind of trip out sometimes if they listen to me. Like, they do it because I said so, and that really is like shocking to me sometimes. So I try to be more motivating, more encouraging. Obviously, the stronger I become at coaching or training, the harder they work. And I noticed that over time, obviously. So I was telling her that. I said, but sometimes I have a really hard time, and I'm doing this as a trainer, motivating myself, talking nicely to myself, or pushing myself that extra even half inch when I don't feel like it. So I told her, I said, this is the struggle that's real within me. And what I like to do when I train people one-on-one is encourage them that they can encourage themselves. They need to get inside their own head and say, I can. and I won't give up. I'll keep going. I like to use the terminology that every single time you work out, you should encourage yourself that you're strong. You're getting stronger. Okay. You can say to yourself, look how strong I've gotten. You got to say those things every time you work out to yourself. So I'm telling people they should do this, yet I struggle in this same area. So just being able to admit it and see it and then think about it just more now that I'm talking about it with other people, right? Because before I used to just live inside my own head and think, oh, this is my struggle, but I'll just keep it to myself. Now that I'm able to become a Beachbody coach and actually trying to encourage people more and more, it's like, well, then you should do what you're encouraging people to do. Anyways, that's my rant.
I love it. I love it. And this is what I told you too, Tammy, the other day. Like, sometimes I feel like people think I have it way more together than I actually have it. Like, it is all an illusion. And I feel like there's power in that, though, because especially with social media these days, all we share are all the good things. We don't share the sleepless nights, and we don't share the half a chocolate cake that we ate, and we don't, you know what I mean? We're not really proud of that. But I feel like there's power in that, though, because we're all human, and it makes us more relational. Like, okay, so I did mess up, and that's okay because everybody does. And now what's great about this team and that family that we have is that we all have very similar goals, and we all are going to mess up, but we can use each other to kind of encourage each other. Like, I totally hear you. I've been there myself. Let me help pull you out of this rut that you're in. And let's keep going together. And I feel like that's what's a huge difference with this whole company, this whole opportunity, this whole team environment. For me, that's been a huge thing. It's like a new family that we have. So,
right. And sharing your struggles brings more awareness to yourself on the solution. Like, if you're sharing your struggle, but then you're like, oh, I found a pretty good solution to the struggle, but I talked about the struggle again. So it's just, I'm more aware of my own struggles. And instead of living in my own struggles, I'm now going, oh, there's the solution as soon as I start to feel a struggle or think about a struggle.
Totally. Yeah, just being solution oriented. Like, instead of being stuck in our problems, something that's always helped me in life through any hardship has been knowing that God wasn't allowing me to go through that for myself. It was for someone else, because down the road, I'm going to meet someone who's going to go through that struggle, and I'm going to know how to come out of it, and I'm going to be able to help them. And that's like so many, that could be applied to so many different areas of life. And if we can have that mindset of, this isn't just for me, this is like for the betterment of humanity. We all know this world needs more of that. Then it kind of pushes you further. And that goes into leading with why you're doing this. And whether it's your workouts, whether it's your career, whether it's if you decide to be a coach, every single aspect in our lives is always going to have its challenges, and we're always going to have those moments where we feel like we want to give up. We're not good enough. We're not cut out for this. And we always have to go back to, why did we ever decide to do it? Why is it important for us? And you have to dig deep for that. And so that's going to kind of lead me into, I don't want to take a lot of your guys' night, but that's going to kind of lead me into why I became a Beachbody coach / health coach / whatever I am. I don't know, you call me whatever you want, but why I guess that I partner with the Beachbody company to do what I'm doing. And it's because I'm into nursing school. 4-year nursing school, pulled out a ton of loans that I'm still paying off for nursing school. I think altogether it was like, I don't know, $100 and something thousand to get a nursing degree. And I did that, though, because I wanted to help people. I have always had a deep-rooted passion to help other people. And for me, at that time in my life, that's what I thought was my avenue to help other people. And so that's what I did. In doing that process, I got really sick, and no doctors could figure me out. They're like, oh, Jessica, you probably have a brain tumor. Okay, thanks. Oh, Jessica, I know that you're only 19 years old, but you have the estrogen levels of a 55-year-old woman, so let's put you on birth control. What? I don't need birth control. No, but that's the solution. It doesn't really make much sense. But I didn't know at the time, you know. So that is just a snapshot of my health journey. I was very sick, and that's what led me into more holistic integrative medicine and trying to research more myself to figure out what was wrong with me. Because whatever the specialist that I paid thousands of dollars for, they couldn't figure it out. And once I realized that you can't heal the whole body by focusing on one little area, you have to heal, you have to address body, mind, and spirit of the whole person, then things started making sense to me and I started healing. So fast forward, oh gosh, how many years? A lot of years. I got pregnant and had a baby in December. It's been a year in a couple weeks, which is insane. And had a great pregnancy, and I really was trying to, you know, ate super, super healthy throughout my pregnancy, and I exercised up until week 29, and I was put on bed rest. Jessica, you need to lay on the couch and not move. It sounds like everyone's dream, but it drove me bonkers. Like, I went crazy. And I developed a lot of really bad lower back issues from that. Fast forward, had the baby, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to recover from this? You know, how am I going to get strong again, my body back? All these people have told me, you know, enjoy being skinny while you can before you get pregnant, because you'll never be skinny again, and enjoy your health while you have it, blah, blah, blah. You know, the things people mean well, but they say the dumbest things to pregnant people. And I heard all of them. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm not okay with that. I'm going to be stronger after I have my baby than I ever was before. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to. And so that's when I saw my coach, Elizabeth Hartkey's post about doing 22-minute hardcore. She lost all of her baby weight, got a super strong body after having her son. I'm like, this is it. It just clicked in my heart. I need to do this again. I have been a Beachbody coach, had a Beachbody coach account probably 4 times in my life. Not going to lie. This is probably the 4th time. And I canceled every other time because it wasn't the moment for me. But something clicked this time. And I initially signed up as a coach just for the discount because you get the 25% off. And I was like, yeah, I'm all about saving money. Why would I pay full price? That's just not smart. So that was my intention in the beginning. And then I thought, hey, I know my mom would really like to do this with me, and my sister-in-law, maybe my mother-in-law, and I had like 5 people. Hey, you guys want to do this with me? This would be fun to keep each other accountable and do this together. Well, before I knew it, literally within 2 days, my Beachbody team grew, and I had upped in rank that I didn't even know existed. And Elizabeth, my coach, messaged me and was like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you just hit emerald. I'm like, what's emerald? I don't know what that is. Cool, awesome. And that's when it started growing for me, this passion. And as she shared her coaching story with me, so my coach, Elizabeth Hartkey, you guys can Google her if you don't know anything about her, but she's been doing this for 4 years. She just hit superstar coach level, which 15-star diamond probably doesn't mean anything to you, but basically her and her husband have retired from their corporate careers. They now have hit the Millionaires Club just doing this, what you and I are doing right now. That's it. They had a much smaller network than all of us put together, and they just decided, like, I want more for my life. I want to make an impact in this world, and that totally resonated with me because I've always wanted that. I want to help other people, and I want to make an impact in this world. But now my focus has shifted because I have a baby now. And every day it kills me that I have to leave him for 8 to 10 hours a day and go build someone else's dream just to get a paycheck. You know, that for me is not what I want to do. Not to say that it's bad at all for anybody, but for me, I know that my purpose in this world is much deeper than that. And so this coaching opportunity really opened my eyes to financially, this could provide more for my family than I ever imagined that I ever could get from a nursing career. Interesting. I could retire from nursing within like 3-4 years. Interesting. Okay, so my wheel started spinning. And then I went to the Beachbody convention in July. My husband and I went. It's called Summit. And it was like, holy crap. Like, this is ginormous. And this could be so amazing. I could be on stage and I could use my story to motivate other people. And everything that I went through in my past, that wasn't for nothing. You know, this could be a platform for me to encourage other people and show them that their story means something, because each one of you here have a special story, and each one of you have been given opportunities and people around you to encourage and inspire, but they're not going to be encouraged or inspired unless you share your story with them. And think about it for yourself. Say you're going through a really hard time in your life, and someone comes into your life who's been there, who's literally has been through a very similar situation as you. It's always comforting, right? To have that person to talk to and bounce things off and be like, this is how I feel and I don't know how to process it. And you are that for somebody else. And that's what coaching is about. Literally, so many people, including myself, and I know, Tammy, I know you can resonate with this, we overcomplicate it. But really, the basics of coaching is all we are doing is inspiring other people. We're trying to motivate them. We're trying to keep them accountable and keep them encouraged to keep going. You don't have to know anything about health and fitness. You don't have to be passionate even about health and fitness. My coach, Elizabeth Harkey, will tell you she's an Italian. She loves bread and ice cream and is not passionate about health and fitness, but she's passionate about changing the world. And so that's where she finds her motivation, and about leaving a legacy. And that's where I find my motivation. I want to prove to my son that if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it, but you have to work your butt off to get there. And this whole coaching thing isn't always easy, and there's times where you'll have self-doubts, but it's so rewarding. It's like parenting, I feel like, right? Like with your kids, like my screaming kid right now, I love him to pieces. But sometimes you have to, sometimes it's hard, right? And you have to like re-strategize, like, how am I going to do this? And how's the best way to communicate to him and motivate him and guide him and teach him? And that's kind of what coaching is like. Because with your people, you have to figure out, they all have individual needs. Everyone has individual strengths and weaknesses. You have to figure out, okay, how can I connect with this person, build a trust relationship, show them I truly care, and also sometimes play a little bit of hardball and say, hey, what are you doing? You know, you're worth so much more than this. Like, get back on track. I know you can do this. I know you have it in you. I really care about you, and, you know, let's do this together. And that's what this is really all about. And the fact that we have an opportunity to get paid to do that, I think is amazing. I explain to people all the time when they ask me about coaching and the whole like pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme, first of all. People get confused about that. And really all this is I motivate and encourage other people. I give them guidance and tools and answer their questions. And the Beachbody company pays me to do that. That's really all that it is. And I think that it's interesting too that other people look at it like a pyramid or whatever. Like, well, but you have a downline. I like to call it a family tree, personally. But it does, you know, you do build a group in this. Each one of us can build teams. But look at a grocery store. It's like people hate to be manipulated, right? And they think that you're just out to like sell them and manipulate them, blah, blah, blah. If you go to a grocery store, what is it? It literally would look like a pyramid as well. You have like your CEOs and then your store owners and then your managers and then your supervisors and then your employees and ground workers. What are they doing? Literally, there's studies of how they try to manipulate you to buy different foods. But we do it anyways and don't think about it twice. It's the same thing, right? Does that make sense? Like the different kind of correlation, how it's kind of the same. And so for me, when it comes to supporting families versus supporting huge corporations, I am all down for that. Like, if you guys have other businesses, I would love to give you guys shout outs and support you and your family, because I think that's what the American dream is, right? Is that we literally have the opportunity here in this country to do things like this and to work from home and be with our family and create financial freedom for our family and create freedom of time. You know, my husband and I were talking a little bit ago, and it was maybe a couple months ago, about why do we want to do this, and what would we do if we had the time, kind of a thing. If we could do anything in the world, and it came down to having the freedom of time. You guys, such a big deal. Like right now, it is so hard for us to get one day off, and that's a bummer, you know. And especially for like, let's go take a trip or like a drive for a week. Let's just drive up the pass or go camping, and it is nearly impossible to do that. We can maybe get 1 week off a year. And then I think about how sad that is. Like, that's not what life's about. But so many of us do it because that's what's normal and that's what's expected. And we just don't think twice. And we just go along with what everyone else does. But what if it could be different? And that's what's really intrigues me. I want to be different. I guess I have an inner rebel that I didn't really know existed. And I want to live a different life and a different example. And I want to be home with my kids and be able to also change the world and be able to also be a millionaire. Why can't I have it all? You know, like I feel like that's okay. But it does take a lot of work. And it's hard a lot of times. Like there's been a lot of times where I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But it's so worth it because we get to do calls like this, you guys, and it's so cool to hear people's stories of, I'm off my blood pressure medication that I've been on for the last 4 years, and it's only been 2 months of doing this program. That's so powerful. That is way more of an impact than I've ever been able to have it with my nursing career.
Right.
And there's been a lot of those stories. So, in a nutshell, that's what coaching is about. Some people have asked me, what do I do as a coach? What does it look like day to day? And this is going to be different for everybody because right now, I currently have a full-time nursing job. And so I don't have a ton of freedom of schedule. On top of it, my nursing job is in a prison. So I can't have my cell phone to like multitask on breaks, and I don't have internet access to multitask, even though some of you have probably gotten emails from me at work. That's all I can do. But my ritual is I choose to wake up at 4:15 in the morning, hoping that my son doesn't wake up, but this week he's woken up with me, which has been super fun. And is he okay?
Yeah.
And I try to get like an hour of work done, Beachbody stuff done in the morning. What that looks like for me, it's a Facebook post in our group Facebook page, answering any emails if I've gotten any, and I try to check in with people at that time. Then I go to work. I usually voice text people on my way home, which I know is probably not very smart. I'm not perfect, but I try. And then I get home and I do my workout with my husband, and then I try to make sure that I'm doing at least, I'm not good at it lately, I'm not going to lie, but at least 1 to 3 posts on social media a day just to inspire people. And it doesn't have to be like, hey, join my team, I want to sell you my product, because that's not what it's about, right? It's about being an example. And this is what it's done for me, and it's about sharing your story. 90% of coaching, to be successful at it, you have to be proof of the product, meaning you have to drink Shakeology yourself, you have to do the workouts, and try to do the meal plan, at least try to stick to it, so that you feel what it does for you, and then you just share it with people. Just like you would a favorite mascara, and you're like, this is the best mascara ever, I want to shout it from the mountaintops. It's the same thing, and we don't hesitate, but we get all weird and awkward when it comes to coaching and stuff. So, but it's the same thing, because when you drink this daily Shakeology, there's so much goodness in it, and you just want to tell everyone. Like, I was telling my husband the other day, it's so weird to me that I feel like I have more energy now. I haven't slept an entire night in the last year. And I feel like I have more energy now than I did before I ever got pregnant. And that's a big deal to me. So yeah, anyways, it all comes down to just sharing your story, checking up with your people. If you only want to do this part-time, that's totally fine. If you just want to get your Shakeology shake paid for so it's not a financial burden for you, that's awesome. And if you want to go the other way, and if you want to hit Millionaires Club, and you want to be a superstar coach, and you want to see how many lives you can change, that's super awesome too. Wherever you're at, I would love to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. It might be over a voice text. I'm not going to lie, on my way home from work. But I will try to respond as soon as possible. But all of that being said, I'm really thankful for each and every one of you. You guys are why, obviously, that I do this, because I love hearing your stories, and I love getting your messages. And it's what it's all about for me, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't have all of you guys. So word vomit over. Do you guys have any questions about any of this, about coaching or experiences or anything that you want to share?
I had a question today come up. One of my coaches had, basically she said her credit card got lost or something, so she had to cancel it. And then she went on like a 3-week vacation, and she came back and she kind of didn't really check all her Beachbody emails, and she got 2 months behind on her Shakeology.
Okay.
So before she realized that had happened, she called them today, and they said that she would have to purchase the back 2 Shakeology bags plus her December bag, which would be like next week's, for her to keep current. And she said the total came to like $300 and something, and she felt a little panicked, like, I can't do that right now. And so I was wondering, I told her, or I asked her which number she called, and she said, I don't know, I called some 800 number. I said, well, let's try the coach relations number and see what they can do. She said, I thought about asking to talk to a manager, or I don't know what the protocol is to stay.
That's weird.
Is that weird?
So, yeah, I've never heard that, to be honest.
Okay.
So to stay active as a coach, to have an active account, you have to order 50 PV, meaning like $50 worth each month.
Okay.
When someone is on, hopefully if someone is an active coach, then they're doing their Shakeology each month, just because you want to be, again, it goes back to being a proof of the product. But in this situation, that's very strange. So let's connect after the call, or message me her information, and then I can make a phone call too, or yeah.
So she didn't order pretty much 2 months worth of anything.
Right.
So I'm wondering, probably backed her up. Anyways, we'll talk about that more later. The other question is totally random off the topic, kind of funny. I went to Priceco last night, and I was reading all these cans of tuna fish. And they were from Costco, and I was like, I want to see somewhere on this can of tuna fish that it's, and I might get the letters wrong, like PBA free. Is that the right thing we're looking for on a can?
BPA?
BPA.
Okay. So I was like, if it doesn't say that, then I probably shouldn't get it, right? Like,
It's probably not. Yeah.
I want good things.
Yeah.
Safe fish.
It depends on tuna too, what you're concerned about. I wouldn't recommend anyone eat a lot of tuna just because of the mercury content. If you have it here and there, it's fine. But yeah, it's not a fish that I would eat every day just because of that, because we already have so much mercury everywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, I would if you're gonna do tuna, then yeah, I would stick with the BPA free.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question. I think everybody on this call is local. Grocery Outlet has some awesome things right now, and I don't know if you guys ever go there, but they always have organic chicken. They have organic grass-fed beef, which I think is awesome. And then I think they had frozen organic chicken when I just went. Those pre-portioned. That was pretty cool. They have organic smoothie starters that comes with, which for me and my lifestyle, that's crazy. They're really helpful, and they're organic bag that comes with sliced pineapple, spinach, I think banana. Excuse me. And there's another one that has avocado, spinach. I can't remember the other fruit, but it had some fruit, berries or something in it too. So you just throw it in the blender, throw in your Shakeology, add water, whatever, blend it, and you're good to go. So those are kind of time savers. They had some other good organic stuff there today. or what day is today? Is today Monday? Sunday. Yesterday. Ay. Thank you. You guys, I'm the best husband. You just served me some dinner. I like to embarrass him. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go to your families, but thank you guys again so much for joining us. If you guys have any questions, email me or whatever. Okay?
Great. Okay, thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.